We'll start with Paulina Alcazar from Encadena News Cancun.
Thank you, Christian, for taking my question. And greetings from the Mexican Caribbean. Now, we know that with new variants, the virus is getting stronger all the time, but children's mental health is being seriously impacted. They've spent a year on their own with family pressure. What updates do you have for the opening of schools, and what can they do if there are high levels of infection amongst the childhood population?
There's a lot that can be done to open up schools safely. Schools operate in communities, and where there is virus transmission, the virus can enter schools as they can enter any type of facilities. So what we have been advising is in making sure that transmission is under control in communities so that schools can open up safely. There are a number of ways that schools around the world are starting to open up, are taking into account a plan in place that when those schools open up, understanding how they can inform parents and students about how to behave appropriately in school in terms of physical distancing, wearing masks if the child is of the right age, some of the adults wearing masks in certain areas if the virus is circulating, opening up of windows, making sure that there's good ventilation in the school systems, making sure that there's a plan in place should there be any students that are sick that need to be tested, if any of those children test positive or workers test positive. And a number of school systems have set approaches to make sure that they have all of the systems in place so that the schools can open. And we're seeing that being done successfully in a number of countries. It's about taking a comprehensive approach to be able to do so, but it really starts with controlling transmission in the communities because these schools do not operate in isolation. Everybody recognizes the critical importance of opening up schools, not only for children's education, but also for their social well-being, their mental health. And in many parts of the world, this is where children receive food. So it is absolutely critical that schools are opened and that they're opened up safely. About transmission, children can be infected with the SARS-CoV-2 virus. We do see different rates of infection among children by age. Luckily, so far, all of the evidence we've seen across countries is that children tend to have more mild infection, if not asymptomatic infection, but that is not universal. There are some children that have experienced severe disease, and there are some children who have died from infection. But the vast majority of children who are infected tend to have mild disease. This is true with the virus variants as well. So there are risks that are associated, but there are many countries that are opening up their schools, taking this approach, a planned approach, and ensuring that the measures that are in the schools themselves keep the children safe as well as the people who are working at those schools. We have guidance that has been put out that outlines all of the different elements that need to be in place, taken at school district level to make sure that the schools are operating safely.